It's a great question. I mean, I played in the early days of the NECBL when we had 5 teams, traveled in vans, no ticket sales, no sponsors, certainly no interns. And to see it turn into the complete operation that we have now, where our off-field operations are recruiting of intern talent from around the country is just as important as recruiting the player talent. Has come a long, long way, to say the least, and it's only becoming more and more important, evidenced by podcasts, your social media and graphics, and team in Upper Valley has been raising the bar this year, and that's only going to continue to grow. Technology is becoming more and more evident. Targeted marketing is more important. Engaging with the fan base beyond just the games to keep the organization current, relevant. And connected to the fans is crucial to kind of building that brand for Upper Valley in this region. So yeah, I see it continue to grow. Obviously, ESPN Plus with our broadcast has been huge this year, so that's expanding our brand, but it's also expanding the talent pool of our interns. There's more opportunities than just the social media presence. Certainly, you're looking at a lot of cameras here and the audio and visual, so it's growing, and excited for the future. I can go to a ball game, sit and watch 9 innings, enjoy it. I don't have a horse in the race anymore. I used to be a general manager and going to the games and sweating it out for a W or late inning substitution, or last night I was in Vermont and Brian Gallagher was sweating out the 9th inning again. And I'm sitting there going, wow, this is just a great game. Look at the crowd. They're into it. This is drama. And just want to see a good pitch, good hit, good play. So I enjoy that piece of it. But no, on any given day, the entire ride here was filled with phone calls, following up with GMs, just providing some feedback or guidance back to them as needed. The ESPN Plus experience has just added another level of conversation and discussion and organization. We've been searching for a corporate sponsorship director at the league level, so that's been a whole host of responsibilities. The coordination with social media at the league level has grown, so we have Alex Gutierrez, a great director of media relations for the league, and just kind of supporting him. Again, supporting the 13 teams, and that's the unique part, is that sometimes I hear from a lot of teams, sometimes I hear very little from a few, but every year there's something coming up. With 13 teams, there's usually something in front of me, an email or a phone call or a text message, it gets spread around amongst the 13 teams. Great question. I just got chills thinking about it, actually. Growing up, being a college athlete, there were limited places to play back in the late, mid to late 90s. Besides the Cape Cod League, the Alaska League, one in the Midwest, and then this young league called the NECBL that I knew a little bit about. In fact, I turned down a contract after my freshman year to play in the league with the Torrington Twisters. And then the next 2 years I played with Danbury Westerners. I had the privilege of signing with the Mets in year 2, while I was actually a Danbury Westerner player, and signing as a free agent that summer, which was exciting. And then years later, I got into coaching, and then all of a sudden there's a team that's being introduced and established in my hometown of North Adams. And so I went to the town hall. I was there as an advocate, as a fan. I was a beneficiary of this league. I thought it'd be great for our community. And the Watterson family from Keene, New Hampshire, they were the ones that were bringing the organization to North Adams. So I was a big proponent and advocate, and thrilled that they decided to create a new organization in my hometown. I immediately jumped in coaching, and then became the general manager after they moved on. And it's just been a pleasure to be a part of the league, and certainly to see from the commissioner side it was exciting to change from just running a team to being the commissioner, because now I'm not worried about one team. I'm not worried about the North Adams Steeplecats, which I was for 9 years. Now I'm worried about 13 teams, from the island to Montpelier, from Danbury, Sanford, everywhere in between. And every organization has strengths, weaknesses. Every community has strengths, weaknesses. Every stadium itself has a strength and weakness. So I get to go and kind of respect the operations, and how well they're run based on their strengths as an organization, as a community. I mean, that's the dream. Obviously, everybody that comes through the NECBL, they're at a very elite level. They're not that far away. This is a step in their career. This is maybe another step to become a professional, and for some, this may be the highest level of baseball that they experience. And it's going to be a great journey. They're going to be signing autographs and visiting schools and being mentors in the community, and that'll be something that they remember for a long time, whether they play professionally or not. But what the league has become with the analytics, with our TrackMan systems in every stadium, with synergy in every stadium, with the reputation the league has become, every one of our players have an opportunity to compare themselves against other elite future professionals and see where they stand. And any given year, a kid that may not be on the scout's radar is going to come in here and showcase themselves and put their names into those scouting departments for follows and to be evaluated down the road. And then there's other kids that come in here and just absolutely showcase themselves, and everybody knows that they're a little bit different than the rest of the league, and it's just a matter of when they can be signed or drafted.
And kind of a follow-up question to that too, with the new era of the transfer portal, that kind of opens a whole new door as well with guys looking for their next opportunity, even in collegiate ball. How does being a showcase here help with them finding a new home?
It's very important for the players. I mean, we can either complain about the NCAA and the ruling, which isn't going to do anybody any good. So it's a matter of how do you embrace it, how do you learn from it, how do you kind of make the best of it. And for our players to come, and if they put their names in the portal, this is definitely a showcase. College coaches are coming to watch. They're following stats. They can watch on ESPN Plus now, and it's definitely an opportunity to be re-recruited again. I think a lot of colleges around the country look to our league to say, well, these players are in the portal, and who's doing well, how are they competing, what do their analytics look like, and they're making decisions. In fact, Newport had, third baseman and second baseman last year on the championship team that both ended up at Georgia. And here I am watching them on ESPN Plus, and they're having a great year. And they were both transfers. They were not in great situations for themselves, and they ended up in a very great situation at Georgia. And their time in the NECBL was part of that roadmap.
The MLB has had a lot of rule changes recently with the pitch clock and things like that, and the NECBL still has tie games and ghost runners on second. Do you see the pitch clock or any other changes coming soon?
Yeah, I mean, every year, our entire league, we're always talking about experience, the experience from year to year, and we've changed every other year several, rules based on the experiences of the season. Pitch clock is something to look at. Our college players obviously are trained throughout the season to have it. I've talked to umpires about it. I've talked to managers about it. We haven't really seen a need to enforce a pitch clock rule because it's just not an issue. If somebody did bring up the in-between inning time, the NCAA has a 2-minute timeline, that might be something that we may look at. We might be able to expedite, some, except when there's interns, running on-field promotions. Innings that aren't marketing opportunities, 2 minutes, in and out, let's go. That might be something to look at.